The future of the Star Wars franchise seems to be quite expansive, not just with their books, novels, comics, and video games, but also let's not forget about the fact that they are still working on their live-action and animated Star Wars TV shows for Disney+, and even their new Star Wars films, such as the fourth Star Wars trilogy, also known as the new Star Wars trilogy by Disney and Lucasfilm. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really exciting about the future of Star Wars is, of course, two major reasons. Kathleen Kennedy no longer has creative control over any of the existing Star Wars projects for the most part, except two Star Wars shows, which is the LESLYE HEADLAND show and the animated show that is currently untitled. Not just that, but also second is that John, George, and Dave are all working together as a team to really craft tons of authentic Star Wars stories to arrive throughout this entire decade of the 2020s. That's really going to be a very important decade for the growth of Star Wars and this new Star Wars universe, and how Bob Chapek really wants to make it just as successful as the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which, like I've said before in the past, it's not going to be any easy task. This is going to be a very difficult and lengthy process that's going to take a lot of time and effort in order to really get it all done correctly. And you need a good success rate on a consistent basis, here when it comes to the movies and the TV shows. So with that being said, of course, what's really intriguing all has to do with the fact that they have so many projects in the works alone on Disney+, and of course, other Star Wars movies as well. And out of all of this, what's really intriguing all has to do with the sequel to The Rise of Skywalker. Now, specifically, with both Disney and Lucasfilm now finished with The Rise of Skywalker, they are also focused on the new Star Wars trilogy of films, as well as their new Star Wars universe in general. Now, it's noted that they currently have over 10 years worth of Star Wars projects in the works for Disney Plus alone, where one of which is going to be a Rise of Skywalker sequel series that will be in animated form, where the animation style will be lifelike and similar to the old Republic video game cutscenes. Now, it's explained that the sequel series is aimed to include the son and daughter of Rey Skywalker, and that George Lucas and Jon Favreau have developed a plan with other creators that since Ben Solo's spirit is a part of Rey, that children of Rey Skywalker will be born in a similar way to Shmi Skywalker through the Force, and of course Anakin Skywalker and the twins, that Rey and of course will actually have hold the actual DNA of the actual Skywalker bloodline, since Ben Solo's essence becomes a part of Rey at the very end of Episode 9. Now, this is said to be George and John's best option to have Rey's children become actual Skywalkers in the new Star Wars universe, where additionally it's noted that Palpatine is set to make a major return in the form of a spirit in the new series within the body of the Dark Acolyte that will be based on the original ideas for Episode 9, before Kathleen Kennedy deleted many scenes. So, the thing about this that's really intriguing is the fact that they're going to approach the children of Rey and their creation to be similar to the creation of Anakin Skywalker through Shmi Skywalker. So the entire, story of Shmi and how the Force essentially chose her to give birth to Anakin, and how Anakin would be the chosen one to destroy the Sith once and for all. We're going to get a similar scenario here with, of course, Rey, except there's a little bit more differences, if you will, because in this scenario, we have Ben Solo's essence actually a part of Rey, which is going to make her a literal Skywalker in the movie, and she's going to actually give birth to the two new Skywalkers that are currently dubbed as Zane and Kira Skywalker, that are going to be both modeled after Jaina Solo and, of course, Cade Skywalker in the Star Wars Expanded Universe. They're going to be modeled after those characters appearance-wise, and some of the personality traits will be inserted as well. So, what do I think about all of this? Well, this sounds like that George and John really could just pretty much do whatever they could. This is about the best option that they could really do when it comes to not only making Rey a literal Skywalker, but also making her children a literal Skywalker. So it seems as so that Rey is not going to have children with some random person that we just meet in this new Star Wars universe. It's going to have something to do with the fact that her and Ben Solo are one, and the children of Rey Skywalker will actually be created through Rey and the Force. It's going to be an interesting process. It's going to be an interesting take by George, John, and Dave, working on this new post-Episode 9 era that will be explored in books, novels, comics, and yes, even this animated series that's going to change up the animation style and be far different than Star Wars Rebels or the Clone Wars. And I think that's one reason to be very excited about this, is that the animation style is essentially going to be a bridge between live action and animation. So it's going to feel a little bit more authentic in a sense, where maybe the people who only like movies will indeed go ahead and check this out. You know, there's a lot of people out there that only like the movies strictly, and that's okay. You know, there are people that won't even check out or bother with the animated shows. But if the animation is lifelike and very realistic, kind of like I said, like the cutscenes of the Old Republic, is that I think that more moviegoers will go ahead and check out this series regardless on Disney+, because it's going to actually pick up the story of Ben and Rey and the children of Rey. So with that being said, guys, you know, drop a comment below, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to morning.